Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Langford. We're going to go ahead and do the holistic review. So let's take a look on what's going on with the holistic with the W. That is alternative methods of healing, naturopathy, anything of like wellness, stuff like that. So let's take a look here. Oh lordy, well, it's the end of the day for me. Let's see. What do we need to know? Right now, I'd have to say, watch how it goes on with politics and ice, all the way down to slipping on ice, to like watch the vaping, watch the e-cigarettes, watch anything of that matter, because something is like a dome. Something about a dome. Something is deeming that you just actually can't even put any through. So this is confirmed. Like anything that you've been thinking about holistic, about Reiki, or like going a little bit more natural when it comes to your healthcare, you have to go for it. You have to go for it. So when I see it, it has to do with something that we'll see a little bit more when it comes out of the courts. It's something that was unsecured and it wasn't well based in pay. But when I see this and I see the Seven of Swords, you actually can't like take anything away. But when you look at it, you go, like, you can't even go to a co op well enough to actually get anything done. So when it goes down to like one more dime and like a beat in rhetoric, you go, what was actually like well wrung out, because there's no teamwork. And that's what we said. Like it went through this whole thing about we all had to work alone. So when I see it and I say it did lessen the struggle, and then you go, you can't even make it up of what happened in the holistic. We finally got it out. We finally got it out. The cards told us it wasn't swift wind. It was still in like solid wind. You can't even make it up, and it was unfulfilled wishes. Like I can't even explain this at this point. There was a lack of communication that come in. There wasn't much logic on certain things. So I feel like that's why the CDC and the FDA and all of them and like other things did not want to merge or do anything of this matter, because it was something of a trickery. But I don't feel like all of them. Like there were some who were really working hard at like standards of care and like good care plans for their patients who are coming in. There was something of like a lot of options, but it was too much all at once. So let's look at another deck. All right, Akashic Tarot. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? There's something about certain paths, like it's already paved, it's already planned out. It like it will show it like its own light, like it's really right there on what you need to do. It's just guidelines. It really is. It's certifications. It's all of it. It's staying healthy yourself as a practitioner. So when you want to incorporate all these things and try something different, and we're not letting down on the facts of anything about medical marijuana or CBD or anything of that nature, but you have to use everything. There's something of a broken commitment when it went to actually file on through with that talk. When I see the Queen of Keys in reverse, there was no takeaway or take back. So when you see it, it kind of like burnt the dust. I'm actually seeing sawdust. When I see this and I see the light of the world in reverse, I go, there's really nothing to it. But when you actually came in and go through, like it was sewn through so hard that you can't even like weave in and weave out. When I look at it and I go, the bird's nest, it was built in already. Like we have known this since 1979, somewhere around there. Like it's descending. When I see this ill-fated meetings, like oh my gosh, clearing the way, on a foremost, like formidable most. But when I look at it, it is opposing views. So just keep watching as the protests come out. There's a lot more going on. And I see this, and I see Archangel Michael in reverse. there's no war about it. That's enough out of this deck. But the energy of this deck is the will and the wisdom and the mind. It's knowing better and knowing best for you and your own self. So that goes to the topic again of mainstream healthcare, where we had a lot of issues of not being heard properly. And when that came in through, you couldn't even believe what came in through is actually the cow. And when a cow comes in, they say they have whole milk in schools again. All right. There is a story. It was shown through. This cauldron card literally calls in through to be known again. There's something that's missing from this whole element to make the holistic community work better and faster to get what we need. Let's see. There's something about humanity. There's something about instinct, like burnt out, strung out, wrung out, where they catch too many colds, filter through all these things as something not right. So when I see house, it is solidarity. It's a solidarity confinement. When I look at this and I see fantasy like a glore, quiet place of growth, pond, stagnation, working together, but you're not allowed to because it's universal precautions. They're still working on this concept. Like, why are we still working on this concept? It's odd. When I see it and I see lantern and I see white dress, it has to do with money complacency. It has to do with like gold coins. And like I hear this like going around of like a smoke a toka hoka loke again. I said, I can't believe I'm still talking about this. When you have it, you just give a gift. Just give a gift. When I see perspective, again, opposing views on Team Venture, like they run with it too hard. So I'm not putting down all of the community or any of the businesses right now and trying to do like defamation, slogan, slander. But there is something about the general health of the universal collective where we're going back to old standards of taking well care. There's something about love. So when you look at Reiki, it's fine because some people are just hands off. But when it comes to craniosacral therapy or massage or chiropractic, it's hands on. So then you go to the actual argument about law enforcement, how it came through on a law where you cannot place cuffs on children. Mouse and whale, those are the animal spirit oracle. What do we need to know? It's a foregoing. It's Laki, Lee, Lakalu, and Laki. It's a little bit of witchcraft. So can you do witchcraft and holistic? Yes, you can. On a like a first dispense dispel, meaning like breaking a curse with energy work. It is possible. It has been done before. Now when I see it and I say it's a lot of practice, when I see nightingale and I see hummingbird and I'm seeing cobra, there's a sting about the bird, and the bird is a metaphor to a type of ownership of oneself coming through. So are we talking about sovereignty? Because that was a push through also about owning oneself to be true. That is. But when you actually go through it and you have a care plan from nursing or healthcare, and it's standard, and my example was my experience with Medicare and Medicaid and all of it, we have like in our computer systems, and it's really not leaking or anything. You can talk to any nurse. It's like a template, like many places, and it is to like help us get through it a little easier. Because making a nursing care plan or even like Reiki or anything like that, like standard care is a lot when you actually bring out exactly what happened. So, but her insurance, because there are some insurance still that will pay for this, how are you actually going to like get it out? You actually can't even believe it. You have to re-educate even someone who had prostate cancer and they know they're at risk of UTI. Per insurance, every time they're readmitted to you, you have to re-educate them. So when it comes to whale and owl, it's wisdom and trust. And I feel like the new moon is really hard and through. Hard and through. Like you can't even talk about it. You have to sit there and reground and be like reality, and you have to be like so on through that you can't even do through it. So then you can work together with this new moon because of planetary alignment and conjunction. And when it comes to constellations and all of that, it will fly through harder, much, much harder. Now, when I go through it and I say you can write it out and you can see it, but are you actually going to align with what you see and what you hear? Here we go. Let's go. Starseed Oracle. Cracked open. Star Brothers. Rock bottom. Surrender to alchemy of life. You are going to go through something if you're doing a huge change in yourself. Something about protection, loyalty, and trust. I'd have to say, yeah, they're practicing HIPAA, they're practicing Privacy Act. They're really trying to be hard, like a true practitioner, and knowing when to call law enforcement, first responders, anything like that, or a higher level of care. Now, I look at this light worker, starseed, star by being you. There's some that are like what they used to call elated, and some who are literally like isolation, physical connection, and community. And when I look at this and I see Mars, anger, conflict, softening to love, yeah, sometimes like some of these practitioners were able to like take on and mimic exactly what you're going to show you like who is your father. Now, when I see this and I see stop, embrace the winter, great cosmic wound, yes, there's something about empty space needed. Empty space. So when I look at this and I see embrace your weirdness, face your true north, some are going to be a little odd because they're trying to show you exactly what is true. So you're going to feel a little uncomfortable because it probably did align with you. All right. Playing Oracle. Like you can't stand through it too long with a holistic, but it's a mainstream too with insurance dilemmas. Insurance delays us. So when we are the first line of defense, what happens? It goes to like type of like a COBRA insurance. So when you do COBRA and it's a pay per visit, then it's true. It's really true. Like you can't even believe it. Like you're going to be seeing stars, and it's kind of being like a little bit of a lockup with the Pleiadian Oracle. But you know, for most people, some people can get it out before they need an antibiotic. And recommendation is waiting 1 to 2 weeks. It's hydrating and rest and pacing yourself right now. Now, when I see this, it looks like you're like imagining things when you first go through it, and you look like there's like it's talking about sacred union. It's talking about like something like a pond, like a little bit too much energy towards. Something about rooted light. And when you see this, it's something about service, like a hearing in and looking in hard. When I look at this and I go expansion and compassion, like I can't even believe how hard it is with the fifth dimensional access. It's right in the subconscious. Now always be like mindful. Don't sit in the psyche or subconscious longer than like 5-10 minutes. You should be sitting with them after for like 1 to 2 hours. If I hear again it's been like 6 hours, get right out of there. There's something about the energy of this deck. It's about star royalty. It's about making that patient and that client, and however you identify them, when they come in and you make a care plan that actually can match everything that aligns with their actual medical professional to their insurance and all of it. That's a gift. Like that's an absolute gift. Okay, there it is. Tarot Sacred Windows. So when you see the High Priestess, there is a working of oneself. It's not hidden motives, but really it's sitting and meditating, and you're getting this energy, and you actually are picking up on it. It is kind of a snuff out when they actually reveal it to you, these holistic practitioners, because they come in hard. Now, when I see this, it's a sharp ending with a death card, but it's not a literal death. It could be figurative, or it could be ending your old self. When I see this and I go Eight of Wands in reverse, it's like a lack of communication. When you first do that change with holistic, you're really like solitude. They're watching you. When I see this and I see the Eight of Swords, it is healing, it is deceitful, it is a slowdown when it first comes in. But when you look at it, it says the Eight of Cups in reverse. There's like hard universal precautions, the way that that practitioner should be. So when I see it and I see the Three of Pentacles, it is teamwork. You might actually need a few. That's why it's hard, because then you go to payment source. What is the payment source? So when I see it and I see the King of Wands in reverse and the Star, and you go right through it, I go the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Star. There's something about wishes fulfilled, and it's not the best of an ending. It's like a continuance on. That's a good thing. But also, too, there's some people, there was something that was said, like with holistic, that they shouldn't be on the care plan for long. You don't know what they went through to stick with you. So, Seven of Cups, I couldn't even believe it. The strength and the Hierophant, there's something dictative. It really is insurance. It is. It's something contractual. So when I see the Ten of Cups, there's about like true contentment, or like, are they settled? Because a lot of times they could be actually in a rise up when they come in and as a practitioner into a wellness exam. Here we go. Light Seers Tarot. And then we will do the runes on what we need to know for the rest of the week. It's going to come in a little bit quicker. It is a turning point and a walking away. A huge change in a door. There's securement. There's something like bad and good on the horizon coming through. It has to do with a lack of inheritance. So when I see it as wishes fulfilled, it's going to cause a little bit of chaos on a tipsy up. And when you see it and you see the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, you go, there's no skill to it. So when I look at it and I go, like, the Ace of Cups is a confirmation. It's about aligning and attuning and being a little bit psychic in that profession. To when you see this, the King of Cups is your confirmation to attunement, to attainment, to end whatever is going through with that patient. So that was enough of the rhetoric right there. But there is, like the Three of Cups, there's no getting together in groups or parties when it happens. You really can't do it. Okay, here comes the runes. So when you actually go through, you should be able to feel the results, even with Reiki and Fire Reiki, everything. And when you see it, you go, Nadis at night, it's the cutout of what needs to get out of you. The solidarity, the strong, the strength. When I see this, and it's my faded rune that's broken, which is rare, is really rare. You have to say it's closing the gap between what is true and what is not. So when you see this, this rune, it's talking about ashing. It's like torching them. It's something about a gift given. It's ill. You have to be well enough to say it's negative energy. It's and then you get this like kind of a lock and a block, and you go, I already know what to do. And when you go through it, you go, it's a type of trolling on a rollout that we haven't seen since the 60s and 70s on a turn on in. So when a turn on in comes in, you have to say, no, let's watch you and see how it goes. It has to do with joy, has to do with strength, it has to do with everything out there. Everything about this. When it says Othala, it's about your like heritage, but it's not. It's about house and how your body is a house. Now, when I look at this, it becomes like a warrior when we get it out. So that's where meditating and grounding in reality and methods of coping come in. So that's why these guys are really good at it and what they need to do on helping you identify by your own self. There's talking about living. And then lastly, with this, something about lagu when it means like flowing through them. So sometimes we get a little empty in that space, and when that happens, you have to go forward. And when that happens and you have to go forward, you can't even believe it, how hard it is at all. So as we fill that gap, we're going to go to the Lenormand, what we need to know. There's something about skin integrity that's coming in. There's something about watching vascular health with holistic. There is something about greens, but I'm hearing you should eat more yellow and more orange. I'm hearing that you need to like pace it out. So what I used to say is that, you know, children really do need fluoride to a degree, up to a certain age. And then they need spring water. And then they need, at some point, mineral water. And that's when fortified cereals and all of it come through. And when that comes through and you look at today, it goes right to the bank. And when it goes right to the bank, I don't know why it goes to the bank. There's something about keyed, like something about a lock and a key. It's anchored. And you see this and you go, you can't even believe it. This gentleman on a horse, on a follow through, on a troll through, and then you see this ace of spades right here. It's a type of game that's like will come on through. So you just have to watch it to the king of spades. It's almost like a little bit of child's play and a little bit of a game, but you already know how to do that. So when this, you can't even make this up, the 28 and the ace of hearts with this gentleman, it's like go for it. Like literally go for it. Now when I look at it and I say 18 and it goes right on through to this dog, it's like pet therapy. There's all sorts of pet therapy. You can't even believe it. So let's look at the crystal quartz to close it out. There's something of a fall through, to a fallout, to the fallout game. Everything is connected to steam, to gears, to a wrench turning, to a time back in time. I'm seeing old, like 1879 to 1979, to a centurion, to a century in turn of a completing of a cycle of something that happened like 100 years ago that comes right in through. So when I say it's like a great severing, it's a great cut, and it's a great like end of it all to the golden age, there's something coming in through that you just can't tell. It's just day by day and hour by hour. It will make sense in two and two. And that's all you need to know. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, like, a comment, a share. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon.